Hi, I'm Alan Olsen, here today with GROCO, American Entrepreneur. And we're here to interview people who have started the business and discuss the successes they found in their road to entrepreneurship. Here I am today with Dirk Lorenz.
Hello, Alan. How are you?
Good. Dirk is an owner of Fremont Flowers, and I understand that you have several other businesses that you've been playing with for the last
that's correct.
number of years.
Yeah,
so.
that's absolutely correct.
Well, first of all, let's talk about your businesses. What gave you the drive to start your own business versus working for someone else?
Good question, because I had worked for other people. I worked at the San Jose airport for many years. Great exposure for customer service, and I always knew that I wanted to do something with my hands. And I had been very entrepreneurial when I was a teenager, figuring out various ways to make money and whatnot and working. So I'd saved up quite a bit of money, and I just decided one day, I want to be in business for myself. I think that there's a certain spirit in those entrepreneurs out there that drives them into business, and I feel that that was the case for me.
So when you had this this notion of being in business for yourself, how did you land up to be a florist? Did you say it was a florist right away, and only, or what was your process?
Boy, I tell this story quite often because there's a valuable, I believe, a valuable life lesson in the story. And that is, I knew I was a very creative person, good with my hands. I'd done automobile body work. I loved working with my hands, woodworking, etc. And so that good hand-eye coordination, I thought, okay, let's take that a step further. Let's find a career, perhaps a tile layer, perhaps in the automobile industry, because automobiles were a passion of mine. And so I started looking for a business, and I met with a mutual friend who was a real estate agent, and told her, you know, what my desires were. And she said, how about a florist? And I said, oh, no. She said, why not? And I said, well, I don't know the difference between a daisy and a carnation. I don't know anything about the floral industry. And the valuable life lesson in that was keep an open mind. And she told me that. And I remember that to this day. And we're talking back in 1982. So you can see how long I've been in business now. So I said, okay, I'll trust you. I'll keep an open mind. A few months later, she called. She says, you ready to go see the store? And I said, I guess so. So we went down, we saw the store, and you know, as we toured the store, I thought, wow, I had no idea that this business was three businesses in one. Not only is it a sales organization, but you're also a manufacturer of your product, and you run a delivery service. So the three businesses in one represented quite a bit of a challenge for me, managing this business. And then there was a creative aspect that I always was kind of drawn to, that working with my hands. So it ended up here almost 30 years later to be a perfect fit for me.
Wow. Well, let's walk us through this creative process. This is quite a bouquet right here, and I don't know if the camera can see, but this is just not an ordinary bouquet of roses. It looks like diamonds in the middle of this.
Yes, yeah. It's kind of a new trend that we're seeing now. We're augmenting our flowers. Okay. And this is a trend that you'll see in several kind of designer magazines and whatnot, where they'll put the rhinestones inside each flower. And if I could, and I don't know if our camera will pick it up here today, but as I pull one out, you see it's like a pin with the rhinestone mounted on the end.
Wow.
And that's what it is. It's just inserted into a rose or many other flowers. And it gives it just that unique sparkle and look to it. Yeah, it's just the latest trend in flowers these days. You'll see this a lot also, Alan, in wedding bouquets. You'll see this used quite a bit. So
there's always a creative aspect to what next, and,
yeah, that's right.
How do we lay this thing out?
You're absolutely right. And I'll mention, you mentioned our business, Fremont Flowers. We also have Marlos Flowers, which some of the viewers here locally may recognize that store. Also Novellas Florist. That's a florist, interestingly, one of California's oldest florists. It was established in 1885. So it's well known in the San Jose area just because of its longevity. It's been around for a long time. So yeah, we have all three of those stores. So we're very proud of that.
And are you wholesaling also with?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because we are. We have Bay Area Wholesale, and what we found, you know, in a difficult economy, the entrepreneur kind of has to continue to reinvent themselves, continue to be relevant to their customer base. And when things got a little tough, we decided, well, you know, we inventory so many fresh floral products and hard goods. Why don't we establish a wholesale business where we can actually wholesale the product to other florists and open our doors to our customer base for those that kind of want to do it themselves? And so we started this about 3 years ago, and it's really taken off. It's called Bay Area Wholesale, and as you mentioned, it's a wholesale florist. We have all the products anybody would need to come in and make their own bouquet. And I think someone in your family is a very good customer coming in.
You got my wife hooked. There's a
I do.
There's classes you teach for people doing their own.
Absolutely. We teach classes, and one of the unique aspects of our wholesale business is we allow our customers to come in and use our counters, our tools, our cooler to store their work. So we've really opened up the shop to our customers to come in and utilize everything we have to offer.
How unique.
It is unique in the industry.
You're giving you're fulfilling needs from people who want to do it yourself.
And I think that's, you know, being that this show is about entrepreneurship, as I said, you always have to be relevant. And the challenge with any business these days is maintaining that relevancy. And we think we've done a good job of that with our businesses.
So when everything is said and done, what have you found to be the most fulfilling thing in your career and your life? Where do you get the greatest satisfaction?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know that I've ever been asked that before. Am I getting that old that I need? I better start thinking about it. I think what I get the most satisfaction out of is interacting with my customers. The business that I'm in, we get a peek into people's personal lives, whether they're celebrating a birth, a marriage, or a death. And so my customers tend to share semi-intimate details about their life. And just having a good ear and listening to them, understanding them, and creating friendships, I think that's where I get a great deal of satisfaction. I think I measure success by the number of friends I have. Honestly, I do.
Yeah. What a great way to measure.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, Dirk, it's been a pleasure having you today here on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you coming in.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thank you.